got it. You did. I got it. Yes, yes.
I was talking to Dan about this earlier. You guys want to around people?
Go ahead, Juanita.
You inform, you listen to me, or you're hanging there until I fight.
Video too. There's Dow Jones. When you try to leave something.
Bye-bye.
spin.
Boys got the sweatshirt. Girls got
I appreciate his entertainment. I can do gymnastics for Jesus all night. I started your $100. I can watch Superman doing that every morning. I've been doing her money.
hotel that Comrade Hilton built. Anybody know what it is? What about the story? Comrade said he only wanted the rich and famous. We crossed over with that old Gussie got out of our way. And here we see a picture of Grace Kelly, Prince Renee. The American reception was held in there. 1907 by Comrade Hilton. Only wanted the wealthy, the rich, the famous people staying in here. That time, the cheapest room, 1907. That was a lot of money then. $29 a night. Today, that room is $495 a night. When they built it, the penthouse was $300 a night. Now it's only $2,000 a night. But that is not the most expensive hotel in here. Plaza's penthouse is $17,000 a night. Now, you guys see Coming to America, yes? Mm-hmm. Eddie Murphy filmed here. Also, Serendipity. And last but not least, Made in Manhattan with Jennifer Lopez. Oh, yes. And boy, was I mayor in love with Jennifer Lopez. She just laughed at it. To the right is St. Bartholomew. And that is one of the many landmarks that Jackie Kennedy Onassis saved. And they tear it down, it needed some repairs, sell off the land. Hilton Chain wanted to buy the land. She thought, what a shame to do that, tear that building down. So she got together with my rich friends and the politicians. And it was an outrage she didn't take it down, that they kept that building from being torn down. The last 18 years of her life, to me, she was a great lady. She took the basement of the church and turned it into a closet, a big closet, with coats, hats, shoes, gloves, mittens. For the homeless, they could come in here and get enough of any of that to stay warm for the winter. Some of us remember. It's Bill Cosby, yes? Yeah. Okay, he lives on 68th Street. In fact, his neighbor across the street is Mr. Bloomberg. He, every month, he goes twice a week. He gets famous people to come in and join him. And they do take the Y in Harlem, have children brought in from all over, and they do readings, poetry, books, literature, you know. To the left, and I sure can't let them spend the night in here. This is the Pierre Hotel. Cheapest room in here is $525 a night. And the penthouse in there is $12,000 a night. Okay, one name that Americans are never, ever going to forget is Lewinsky, yes? Miss Monica. Her mother owned a condo in this building for about the Avenue, Millionaire's Mile. Now the old money, such as the Morgans, the Tishmans, the Vanderbilts, the DuPonts, the Carnegie, all settled on Fifth Avenue. The new money, young people making money, whether it's sports, television, actors, singers, are owned by Central Park, but Central Park West. This is the very beginning of Central Park. The plug is, and here's the nose right, what are they doing? All right. What is this right?
Hotels, huh?
Oh, well. Now the Union. I wish I was in the Union. Kick me out if I tried to get one going. But anyway, this park is 2 miles in length. It's a half a mile across at its widest point. 843 acres of land. 25 well-equipped playgrounds. 2 ponds. 2 ice skating rinks. 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. And it even has a doggy pool. Unbelievable. People say, where do you see the stars? of the Central Park. Saturday and Sunday, whatever day they're not working, they're like everybody else, they're out here with the children in the park. Yeah. Whatever. But you know, we got women that, I don't know if they ever gonna get married or not, they can't seem to get a husband. So they put all their time and money on their doggies. And depending on what kind of dog you have, you can just about know what kind of money they have. And they walk the dog and they come that's the dogs in the same color they're wearing that day. Unbelievable. Not so pleasant. But as we move on, you guys look over to the left. You'll see a statue of William Sherman. Look to the left. Look on top of his head. Good job. Picture's always on his head. He was the general that went 300 miles south, 80 miles in, what's your problem?
Destroyed Atlanta.
He sure did. You know, can you tell me what major city he saved? Come on. Savannah. See what love can do? Come along too. Down in the plaza. Anybody like cake?
Yes.
Chocolate cake. One slice, $22. Biscuit and tea, you know, in the English and the that's what you need.
Oh, definitely. And the inside would be fun.
Where we going? Where you
I
at?
don't know.
You ain't got off yet. That's good.
No jump.
I had some guests about 3 months ago who wanted to go in there and look. A girl was in there for law and order, buying that clear shopping bag for $4,000. They couldn't believe it. Then the left, Tiffany's. Next to it, Trump Towers, old Donald, D. Donald. He lives there, his office is there, they filmed The Apprentice. Madonna has a condo in there, Andrew Lloyd Webber, the playwright. Sylvester Stallone. And Sophie Loren has a condo in there. Penthouse in there 12 years ago sold for $35 million. They just reopened that. Yeah, it was open. Go in there and get a makeover. Take about 8 hours. Lots of money. Gucci's.
Gucci bag.
Gucci. Chinatown Gucci's. Fortune off. The building is absolutely gorgeous on the inside. And if you want to walk back over, this is Fifth Avenue. You know, on the corner of 5th and 50th. Anybody need a bathroom? Anybody want to be treated like royalty? You go to Saks. They take good care of you. But you gotta leave a tip for the lady in the bathroom. 4th floor for the ladies, 6th floor for the men. That's right. With the American Girl,
Yeah.
very expensive.
Very expensive.
Cheaper in here. This opened 3 weeks before Christmas. You should see the little girls walking up and down carrying their dollies, dressed like the dolly, on the way to the hospital, doll hospital, or having a tea party. It's a great experience. I'm going to try to sit here. Okay, what time is it? Till he was 12 years old, he wore dresses. His mom made him wear the hand-me-down dresses of his 4 older siblings, which were girls. Very thrifty. His mom was thrifty. Primitive Baptist people they were. His father was said to be a bit of a snake oil salesman. So he got the thriftiness from dear old mom and know how to wheel and deal for dad. I'm not going to say dear old dad. And of course he was in a 4-block radius, 25 acres of land. The Rockefellers owned 21 high-rise buildings. Down in the center to the right, where you see the flags, is the ice skating rink, which opened up on October 15th. They closed it down on April the 15th. You come here at Christmas time, 12 people stand in front of you trying to look over there. That street where you see the tent is where they place the Christmas tree of New York. They light it the first Monday in December. What a celebration. The ladies on the left and guys, that's where they film. And he sit that double park. He's gonna give him a ticket. He needs to get one.
He drives a car just like them.
Anyway, this is where they filmed the Today Show with Katie, Al, and Matt in the morning. Having here 4:45 in the morning. To the right, NBC Experience Store. Going in by souvenirs, keychains, ashtrays from any of the shows filmed on NBC Studio. If you don't like that, you got plenty of money, you come over here to Christie's and get some of the, some of the things that they have to show you.
Inside of NBC. Seinfeld corner here. Good.
This is a part of the city that does not sleep. Come in here at 2 o'clock in the morning, people walking around. All these people on your right in line are waiting to buy the evening performance tickets for the theaters here. All the tickets that haven't sold for today's performance, matinees and evening, go on sale. Got 2 tickets for the price of 1. Not on this corner. You guys see him up on the next one? You be on the right. He's out there. Out there. Let's go slow. Right here. Okay. And see how well I did that? Now you take a picture. You guys see him? All right.
And he's making $1,000.
He made $1,000 New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
Turn around, look at him. He's got a lot of dogs. Look at the girls. He goes, look at them. The Times Square building. That's where they drop the ball or the apple from. 12 o'clock. And if you're looking for something to do not go back and sit in those hotel rooms. You've got to stay awake and have fun in New York. Sleep when you go home. No sleeping. To the right, this is 42nd Street we're crossing. You guys look to the right. You'll see the Ambassador Theater where the Lion King has been playing, still playing. Now this was a street of prostitution, pornography, peep shows, little boys in the white sneakers that could run fast. 5 years ago, you dare not walk down that street. Rudy, 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 clean up 42nd Street. Disney told him, we'll bring in the Lion King. We went under his administration from being #1 per capita, unsafe city, to #1 per safe city. We are not #1 anymore. Napoleon laid off 7,000 policemen the first of the year. You know that was terrible. He closed down 12 firehouses. They had people up here, I don't know if you saw it on the news or not. They were actually chaining themselves to the doors in the neighborhoods they lived in, not so he could not close the stations down. That man got this big truck, big boom, went to the back of the fire. The Jewish population, and if you don't believe me, you come in here on one of their religious days, and the city is empty. And honey, we praying for them to have more religious days. You got, and you have in the whole country of Israel. And that's true. When they're young, they come to New York and they make their money. As they get, I call her a job, Jewish princess. I said, listen, you gotta let that girl go. You ain't even gonna be able to afford her pantyhose. They so spoiled, so don't let any of your kids get it. Everybody understand?
Say that again.
In the queue going downstairs. You already have your ticket.
Tell them you got your
Go to the
ticket.
elevator.
Well, they'll send you down and you're gonna
They'll
waste
send you
time.
down, you wasting all time.
No stopping.
The Empire State Building. The famous Empire State Building. Top of the Empire State Building. We're walking up the last 6 floors of the Empire State Building, and here we are at the top.
There it is.
And there are the people down on the street. Over the edge. And this is the edge right here, outside of the gate. And getting over on the edge. And heading over the edge. And videoing back toward where everybody else is. And back out toward over the edge. Straight down. And as I come back on the inside, get back on the inside. There we go.
Like this.
Three bridges, and they have different parts of Brooklyn to different parts of Manhattan. First bridge coming up is the Williamsburg Bridge, connecting Williamsburg, Brooklyn to the Lacy Street, the old Jewish market. 98 years old, and this is the bridge the subway, the Long Island Railroad comes across. Coming in from Long Island, riding in on the train. This is the bridge across. Okay, now the other side of the water, the East River, that's Brooklyn. 65 square miles and 6 million people living in Brooklyn. You gotta be sleeping on top of each other, so many people. Now, the bridge coming up now is the Manhattan Bridge. It was completed in 1903. It coincided with the opening of the subway system. This is the bridge that the subway goes across. And the last is the famous, wonderful Brooklyn Bridge, the seventh of the 8 modern wonders of the world. 120 years old, built by the Rugland family. John Rugland, 14-year had a son who was paraplegic in a wheelchair. Married to a little woman named Emily. He's only 5'4" in stature. And ladies, we all know, 120 years ago we had no rights, yes? All right, now we do. John Rugland died 2 years before they completed the bridge. His son, who was paraplegic, with the assistance of his wife, worked another year and a half. He died. The workers building this bridge thought Emily was evil. She was a witch. She had brought back. So when the bridge was completed, nobody would cross it. They were afraid. Emily was bossy, but she was also smart. She wasn't going to let it be said that that project was not finished by the Rugland family. Circus came to town. Nobody would go over the bridge. Emily went to the headmaster. Did you walk your 21 elephants across that bridge? Of course, she had to pay a little bit, but it was worth it. He came, walked the 21 elephants across the bridge. People came from everywhere. The 21 elephants were going to be floating in the water. Because we know that didn't happen. So people did start using that bridge. It cost 2 cents to walk across it, 10 cents to ride across it with a horse and carriage or a horse and cart. And you have thousands of young people walking in and out over the bridge, back and forth to work in the financial district. To the left where you guys see the helicopters, that's where they bring our president in, First Lady, Vice President. They fly him into JFK, pick him up by helicopter, bring him in here, landing on that pad. And I told you this is 12 miles long, and they closed it down for 8 hours. So you imagine what happens to the traffic. To the left, that's the ferry station to Governor's Island, and that new modern green building is a new addition to the Staten Island ferry station. Now the new. And to the right, as I make this turn, look straight up. That's a statue, that's a plaque of Revolutionary soldier George Washington used that building, Francis Cabot, as his headquarters during the Revolutionary War.
There's no standing in line here.
Of the parade of ships that we see every 4th of July. And the 3 ships you looked at coming down off the drive came in from England, France, and Germany. They sailed into the Bahamas. They were on display there for a couple of months, and they came off to New York. People loved to go on the ship so much that the sea bought them, and they built the seaport around them, which consists of 18 restaurants, 2 hotels, a designer mall, and 2 museums, which came down front. Before the day had ended, we had lost another building. Before the week had ended, we had lost 3 more. The only building that still remains is the German Bank building. You're going to be seeing that on your left. We're going to get out here. And of course, it's still standing, but it is not structurally sound. In the center of the building, there's a 15-story hole or crater. That's not the bad part. The bad part is, growing in that hole is some kind of deadly fungus. They have sent biologists in from all over the world. Millions of dollars have been spent trying to figure out what it was. Nobody knows. 53 people came very sick with breathing problems going in that building trying to help clean it out. So 3 weeks ago, the insurance company announced that they were going to pay the bank for the building and take it down. I'm going to show it to you in just a couple of minutes. And where it stands, they already got some money to buy the land. They're going to put a 45-story parking lot there. They lost over 4,000 panes of glass. This hotel on your left, the Millennium Hilton Hotel, 2 weeks before its grand opening, getting ready to open, every glass in it was blown out. Next to it is Century 21. They lost everything. Next to that, another black building, Brooks Brothers. They closed down for over a year. This just reopened in the spring of this year. You know, if you're a seamstress and you're having to go back and redo an article, it's much harder than starting from scratch, yes? Or baking a cake. In addition to the 7 buildings, you had 20 more buildings affected down here. And look to the right. You guys remember when 9/11 happened, you saw huge fence, people were bringing things back, right? Look to the left, right here. See the black building? The black netting, see the old building beside it? That's another one that lost a lot of wonders. And on the left now, that brand new building going up, that's the replacement building for building number 5. But look at the old building behind it. And they thought that building was structurally sound. They were trying to refurbish everything in there, so they started on the new building. Now they're telling us the old building is buckling. So they think now they got to take that down, and they don't know how it's going to affect the new building. So the engineer's working on that. Now everybody believe in the Lord, yes? Talk to me. All right, God is good all the time. Look to the right. That is the fence where people that had lost family members, friends, husbands and wives would come here. It's one city block. They would come here and light candles, put up pictures, wreaths, flags from all over the world. Now this was right across the street. Everything else got blown away over here. Glass is popping out. This church ground, burial ground, and church did not lose anything except one tree. There was a tree in the back of the ground. It's a sycamore tree. You guys know about sycamore trees. They're big, tall, full branches. They said the tree helped shield the tombstones from getting messed up. They didn't lose a single tombstone in here. So they finally, the roots came up, they took it down, carted it off, and they planted another tree called the Hope Tree to take its place. And you've got graves in there that go back 288 years. And they say, oh, look, they're black. They were black before 9/11. Look at the building. They didn't lose anything. Now, this is the sister church to Trinity, which is the oldest church in Manhattan. And, of course, this church has a lot of history. Number one, it was the first church George Washington attended 2.5 years as our first president. Got a presidential pew in there. Number two, before the Civil War, when they set everybody free, this church was very instrumental in the Underground Railroad that came from the south to the north. When people came in, they had shelter, they had clothes, they had food, they had places for them to live and places for them to work. And last but not least, Father Judd. You guys remember Father Judd? Yes? No? Come on, ministers, wake up. He was a priest. He had a parish 6 blocks from here. He had always ministered to the policemen and the firemen of Lower Manhattan. When 9/11 happened, he came over to help. He had brought 2 people out to safety. Gone back in for the third, bringing the man out. He realized the man was dying. Put him on the ground, bent over him to give last rites. Here comes more of the building now. And instantly killed the priest and the other man. Firemen were devastated. You can't believe how they loved this man. He was one of them. They came, they picked him up, they wrapped him in an American flag, they brought him back to the altar of this church. And we all are different members of different kinds of religion, but we all know if you're going to keep it growing and going, you got to keep the young people in there, yes? All right. This church has not done that. You have an older congregation. And since all the good work they did, young people have been drawn to this church. They have had donations sent in here from all over the world, because from 9/11 until Easter this year, they never closed their doors. You could come in here, people working, could get fed, they could lay down, they had blankets, pillows, they have castles in here. They had your back, your neck, your legs, your feet were hurting, they rub them down for you. So this was a wonderful thing that took place, and they believed this was a sign, the public believed this was a sign of God, that no matter how bad it was, that he still prevails. So people are drawn to this, and it's worth your time. We have a little bit of time for you to walk in, because the last time they took the things down, this is another reason I don't like Bloomberg. He has started to give in this church tickets for people's pictures blowing off into the street. $250, $500 fines. So they said, let's take it down. They took it all down and took it inside and set up a very, very graphic memorial. So it's worth your time. You can go across, take pictures, quickly come in, take a look, and come back, because the last boat is about 20 after 4. We need to be leaving it out of here at 4 o'clock. Please do not anybody be late here. If you do, you're going to miss the boat. There's nothing I can do.
This is ground zero. And this is where the Twin Towers were.
You just got 2.
How do I go? September 11th. People who died on this site.
Little merchants with the plastic bags try to pull you over. Tell you the bag is $80. Tell them I'll give it to you for 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
First one back. Yeah. We're alive.
With sunglasses.
Right behind that building to the right is their east wing. That houses a theater. Oh, it has some classrooms. But now we're coming to what I call the apartment complex of Battery Park City. This was originally designed for 25,000 residents of all New York. And now we're at the North Cove Yacht Marina. And it's encircled by the World Financial Center. This is home to industry giants like Dow Jones, Merrill Lynch, and American Express. The building with the American flags on top is the Mercantile Exchange. They have their own museum inside. Now the green glass building, that's the Winter Garden. That's home to 45 restaurants and shops. They even have 16 45-foot walkways from the Milwaukee to the Oranges. Now upper right is the Empire State Building. It's located at 34 Morris Canal. This Morris Canal back and link up with the Lehigh, that extended into Pennsylvania, where the anthracite mines packed barges. Only water isolated. That's undergoing renovation, but that's located in the state park. With the clock, see, Jersey, ready to begin the line soon. But every one of them were heading for destinations other than New York City. In other words, after that long ordeal, and it was indeed an ordeal, this is where they finally got to take a sigh of relief. It was all now on the only came from that island up ahead on our right, and that island is Ellis Island. Ellis Island was named after Samuel Ellis. He was a local merchant in this area. He owned and had a tavern here during the Revolutionary War. But years after his death in the early 1800s, his family sold this island to the state. And on that very same day, they sold it to the federal government, and he built a port. But again, around 1890, they decided that this is where their station was going to be. And slightly after midnight on June 14th, 1897, there was a terrible fire here. It completely grazed the whole island. Now, the 200 people who were here were not harmed. They were taken to safety at the U.S. Barge Office. Again, I'll show you where that used to be. These buildings were here when it reopened in December 1900. This this other building you see right under it, but up ahead, that was a dormitory later built in 1909. They also kept that as part of the baggage. The idea was born of a group of scholars. The leader's name was Edouard René de la Bruyere. Now, at one of those meetings was both his future friend and her future sculptor, Frederick Auguste Bartholdi. Mr. Lightfoot did the interior design. She is 151 feet and 1 inch tall. With her stand, she's equivalent to a 22-story asylum has been empty ever since. No one lives there. Now, as recent years would have it, the federal government this asylum in New York for the sum of $1. Nobody knows what it will become, but you can't visit here. Here was the city of Brooklyn. In fact, during part of the 1860s, Brooklyn was the second largest city in the country. In the 1870s, it fell to number 4. In 1898, Brooklyn became the third largest city in the country. And that is when they joined with the other environments to become one of the 5 boroughs that made up New York City as you know it today. And it's rich in history. It was first settled by Dutch farmers back in 1626. If you look straight ahead, you'll see a 2-tier road across. That's called the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway. That's in an area called Brooklyn Heights. It was in Brooklyn Heights that George Washington fought the first major battle of the Revolutionary War. So she'll finally have her day. Now the Blue Bridge is the Manhattan Bridge. The bridge beyond that third bridge, that's the Williamsburg Bridge. Its nickname is the Gateway Bridge, and that's because that is the gateway most immigrants took. Going all the way up past these warehouses, down to the Battery. You see, at one time they did not risk the Hudson River because of the ice flows. That problem did not occur like that here. On their busiest one day ever, 925 of those tall ships. Now there are only 2. In near part of South Street Seaport, and we're coming to it. The Gold Pyramid building is the U.S. Courthouse. The one with the gold statue behind the Verizon is the Municipal Building. Pier 17 is home to many shops and restaurants. It's open quite late. It goes inland and out for a few blocks. There's a free minivan right here. Listen closely at the end of the cruise. On Cedar Street, in this area, is a TKTS office where you will be able to get tickets to shows on Broadway and on Broadway at 25 to 50% off. The red and white chip, the light chip, the Ambrose. But right now, I want to direct your attention to that second empty pier coming up on our right. Do you see that street right, big boy? That street is Wall Street. And you'll know it because you'll have approximately 4 seconds to look straight down and see Trinity Church. This is where the Dutch, back in 1653, built their wall to keep the first, the Native Americans, and then the British out. But the British came by sea and surprised the Dutch, and they surrendered without firing a shot. Now, Trinity Church is a beautiful old Gothic church built in 1846 on Broadway and Wall Street. The first one was completed in 1679. You know who else built that? Captain William Kidd the Pirate. He lived right over here on Hanover Square. He was very magnanimous. They loved him here. Oh, but he only lived here until they hung him in London in 1701 for piracy. But get ready, because here we go. There's Trinity Church. If you get time and you're in that building on another day, walk 1 block over to 26 Wall Street. That's Federal Mall. It's free. It was on that site that on April 30th, 1789, George Washington was inaugurated. A small city archaeological museum called New York Under, which so happens to have been built upon the site where Herman Melville was born. Yeah.
Jewish cultures. They're all Chinese now. And the jewelry's cheaper down here. And you have money, I don't necessarily mean the Godfathers, but Italians, this is where they come to get their children's wedding cakes fixed. This is Ferrero's. They used this bakery twice in Godfather 1 and 2. 1892. You guys really want...